Alright, we should be live. Gonna get this set up and then we'll be all good to go. Is the audio working? Yes, it is. Okay. Wait, no, it's not. Hold on. Okay, now it should be working. I didn't have my mic plugged in. I don't know why it worked, though. That's odd. Yes, that sounds better. I don't know how I was able to hear myself without the mic in, but okay. All right, now we should be all good. Okay. That was weird, but now we're good. So we've got weeks 15, 16, and 17 today, closing in on the end of the regular season. We're going to go through all 3 weeks. We're going to watch 2 games, and we're going to simcast 1. I think week 15 is one of the watched games. What is going on, fellas? C-Mill, Sports Gaming YT, Nick Nader, Yeetus, Denmark. How we doing, fellas? So I'm pretty sure the winning game for this week was it the Wizards and the Tigers? Hold on, let me check, because I don't remember. It was. The Wizards and the Tigers won by a lot, which isn't a bad thing, because these two teams are competing for the AFC South, and whenever they play each other, it's always super exciting. Right, it's really only those two, because the Jags are still 2 games out, the Bison are 3 games out, so it's probably going to be one of these two. Chances are whoever wins today's game. So it's definitely very, very important. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. That is the Tigers? No, it's the Wizards. Overtime game incoming. Whenever these two teams play and watched, which has been a couple of times, they've gone to overtime, I think, both times. So, I have expectations that this game is going to be good. I don't think either coaches are here, so I guess we can get to pick the jerseys today. Although there aren't many choices with the relocation teams. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to see the Wizards away jerseys again, so I guess we'll go with that. The Wizards are only an 81 overall. That's probably one of the lowest ratings of the league, which now that I think about it, doesn't really surprise me because their roster isn't as deep as some of these other teams. But, I mean, they have Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, so the two of them can do a lot of things. So here we go, Week 15. This game could determine the winner of the AFC South. Keyword is could. Both of these teams are far from a shoo-in for a wild card spot. Only at 7-6, the loser of this game will fall to 500. So there's a very real possibility that, unlike last year, only one team from the AFC South makes the playoffs. Because last year, both of these teams did, and they both massively disappointed in the first round. The Wizards got shocked by the Dolphins, and then the Tigers lost to the Jets. I think both the Dolphins and the Jets ended up losing in the second round. So it's like the AFC South was like cursed or something in the playoffs. Quick start for the Wizards. It is a primetime game. I did not take notice of which primetime game it is. So it's Monday night. Monday Night Football here in Chicago for first place in the AFC South. I don't remember what happened the last time these two teams played. I'm actually going to try to check that real quick. Because knowing the tiebreaker is pretty important information. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Third and 8. Mahomes somehow has it completed to Tyreek Hill. That was a beautiful throw. Okay, I just pulled it up. Week 6, the Tigers beat the Wizards 33-24. So as it stands now, the Tigers are the first place team in the division based off the tiebreaker. So if the Wizards win this game, the tiebreaker will be even in terms of head-to-head, and obviously the Wizards will have a one-game advantage. Is Khalil Lawrence the slot receiver? Yes, he is. He should be there. He should be all good to go. I think the Aviators have a chance of the playoffs, but you got to go 3-0. Yeah, the Aviators are certainly not out of it. What are you guys, 6-7? So, yeah, realistically, you got to go 3-1 at minimum the rest of the way. And even so, you're going to need some help. So you got to win 2 or 3 today for sure. Nice sack for Cameron Hayward. That's a loss of about 9. I would rather probably be in the Cardinals situation now than the Aviators because the NFC is not as deep as the AFC, and the Cardinals have a shot at winning that division as well. They're only one game behind both Seattle and San Francisco, whereas with the Aviators and also the Browns, since they're 6-7 as well, they're a lot farther behind the Ravens, who I think have, 9 wins? What were the scores of OFL Bowls 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9? I do not know off the top of my head. I know I can probably figure out the score of the first one. As for the other ones, I don't know how easy it would be to find them because those were all on Twitch. And Twitch deletes streams after 2 weeks. I know I can find the score of the first one that we won. Was that OFL Bowl 6? No, that was 5. Yeah, 6 through 9 were the other 4 in OFL 20. So... Yeah. Yeah, so I think it'd be a little bit harder to find those, but I could try to look. Quick start for CMC to the 24. Only found the score of OFL Bowl 5 because there's a screenshot. I think back when I did the OFL stuff on the main channel, even though that game was streamed on Twitch, I still had OFL episodes on the main channel, and I'm pretty sure I had a little highlight reel at the end of that game at the beginning of the season, the following season. But for the other ones, I'm not really sure how I would find those because I don't know if that would save in Madden 20 because it's not like Madden 21 or Madden 22 where I can just go down the league history and see all of the championship scores. I'm sure I'd be able to find them somewhere. Aviators have 5 division opponents to end the season. Not as impressive as the Beats, who have 6 division opponents to end the year. There's no way that's ever happened in NFL history, where a team has all 6 of their inter-division games right at the end. Oh, what a punt! Down at the 2! Good work from the Chicago special teams. From your opinion of research in OFL Bowl 15 was the worst. Which game was that? The last one we had was 17. So 15 would have been the sim year, right? We had 2 OFL Bowl 15s. Because we had to redo the sim year. I feel like I remember both of those games not being very close. What was it? The Bears and the Chiefs was one of them. And the Falcons and Jaguars, I think, was the other one. So technically we have 2 OFL Bowl 15s. Yeah, the Chiefs beat the Bears. I think that's the one that actually counted. Because I think the one the Falcons beat the Jaguars in was the one that technically didn't count, even though it's still in the record books. Yes, Zach Wilson has played in an OFL Bowl before. That's back when he was on the Jaguars. Wilson and his Cougar energy led the way. And that means more things than one, kids. So far, it's been all Orlando so far. It's been pretty one-sided. The Wizards look good. They look like they've prepared themselves for the most important game of their season. The Tigers, not so much. We know the Tigers have the ability to be very, very good in watched games, but they're not looking very good today. Saw the chat when the coach for the team against the Jaguars was pissed in OFL Bowl 12. Yeah, that was when the Jags lost to the Bucks with Jordan Love in OFL 21. And the Bucks won 2 OFL Bowls in OFL 21. They beat us the second time. I think so far in every OFL we've had a team win multiple championships because the Rams did it the first year, the Niners did it in 20, the Bucks did it last year, and this year Seattle has already won 2. So everybody in the NFC West has multiple championships except for the Cardinals, who probably have been closer than anybody with all of the playoff runs they've gone on over the years, but they've just never gotten over the hump. With Nick, the first 2 years, they always found creative ways to lose in the divisional round. And then last year, when Bakker was their coach, they always made the NFC Championship and still always lost. And now this year with Denmark, they haven't gotten back since that first year. Is that Nick Boyle bringing it to the fore? It is. Why is Nick Boyle always so good in watch games? Have the Aviators ever won? Well, this is the first year the Aviators have been in the league. So they've only been in existence for 2.5 seasons. I don't think have they ever made the playoffs? I don't think they have. They almost made it the first year, but they didn't. And then last year they were kind of bad. Your opinion, the Patriots were the best dynasty? Can we, ratio this, man? They did make 5 straight in OFL 20, but they lost to the Niners 3 years in a row. They never beat the Niners, which is why I think San Francisco deserves to be above New England, even though New England made it more times in OFL 20. They made it every year, but they never beat San Francisco. The 49ers is in OFL 20, not your 49ers. These are my Niners. The Niners are cool because they actually get the job done. True that. I did not lose an OFL Bowl. I don't even think did I ever lose a playoff game with the Niners? I don't remember if I made it the first year. I know I didn't the last year. The 49ers won 3 straight and have never been back. That is true. Last year in OFL 21 with Husker, they were pretty bad. And then this year, so far in OFL 22, they've been pretty bad, but they appear to possibly be a playoff team finally this year. If all goes well here at the end of the season with everybody's MILF-loving quarterback, Zach Wilson. How do you go win 3 straight and then miss the playoffs? The last year of OFL 20 was super weird. Because there were 7 teams fighting for 1 wild card spot at the end of the year. It was super odd. It was one of the weirdest seasons I think I've been a part of. But there were literally like 7 teams fighting for that playoff spot, and we somehow did not get in. Which is unfortunate, because I think we probably could have gone on another championship run that year. Seahawks Niners over you and Hector. Yep, get good. I advocated for both games in the last stream, keep in mind, because I wanted to watch the Black Knights, but the Seahawks and Niners is also really important because they're tied for the division. Yeah, 7 teams fighting for that one wildcard spot, and the one team who made it was the one team of that 7 who had like an inactive coach. It was so annoying. Let me change my vote just to mess with Nickinator. I think that game's already won, though. Like, by a lot, yeah. Second place has 3 less votes. You guys are kind of fighting for a bye. You're more so fighting for the division because you're still 3 games behind the Huskies. So as it stands now, if the Black Knights win the division, which is, I would say, more likely than not, then you'll probably get the 2 seed. Which the 2 seeds don't normally do well in the OFL playoffs, at least in OFL 22. Last year, both of the 2 seeds lost in the first round, so I don't know if that's a good spot to be in. But Jordan Love has a good history in the OFL playoffs. I mean, the guy has 2 OFL Bowl championships with the Bucs last year. Why do they run so many read options with Tom Brady? And they've only been doing this year. The last time we watched the Tigers, they ran it with Brady a bunch. I don't get it. Nice touchdown for Christian McCaffrey, though. The number 1 seed is also not normally done all that well. Last year, the 1 seeds were the Diablos, who lost in the OFL Bowl. And who was the 1 seed in the NFC? Was it Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta. And they lost in the conference championship round. And then the year before, top-seeded Seattle won the OFL Bowl, but in the AFC, it was the Pioneers who lost in their first playoff game. Just admit you. I've put the Black Knights on the poll at least like 7 times. So you guys not getting enough votes is not my fault. I literally could not control how these people vote. I only pick the games that are on the poll. And I think I put the Black Knights in for all 3 weeks today. Week 15 against the Panthers, Week 16 against the Huskies, Week 17 against the Falcons. I put all 3 games on the polls. So this is totally out of my power that it didn't get picked. Are you a good coach? Well, you are new, so it is a little bit hard to tell, but I think so far you've done a pretty good job. As long as you do go 0-4 these last few weeks, you'll enter as a 3. I think if you lose out, or even if you go 1-3, you probably don't make it. Even though the NFC isn't that deep, I have a hard time thinking a team under 500 gets in, although I suppose it's possible. You've been here since March. Yeah, but like new in like the grand scheme of things, because you've only been here for like 1 off season. So new as in we don't have that large of a sample size, and the same goes with the Aviators coach, because you've only been here since like the start of this year. So that's even more new. Tom Brady looked more like Tamar Jackson. Two off season. Oh, yeah, no, now that you say that, I think you're right. Because I think you joined right around when the Cardinals made the playoffs the first year. So I guess it has been 2 off seasons, which still isn't a lot, but it is more than 1. How have you done so far? I mean, pretty well, considering you guys are probably going to finally make the playoffs this year and have one of the higher-rated teams in the league. You're the most improved coach. Well, put it this way. You're definitely going to be in the Coach of the Year race because the Black Knights have considerably improved. And I think more seasons than not, you would probably win it, if not for the Huskies completely like emerging. So I would expect you, Cobra, to probably be somewhere in the top 3 for the Coach of the Year. Maybe not first with Hector and the Toronto's emergence, but I would probably put Cobra in second. Joined it when it was the divisional round where the Seahawks won it the first time. So that's right when the Cardinals lost. I think the Cardinals lost in the wild card round. Would you be in the coach? Yeah, you're another one, too. The Huskies, the Black Knights, and the Ravens were the 3 worst teams in the league last year. Now they're 3 of the best. So I would say undoubtedly it's the 3 of you in some order. I think it's hard not to put Hector at 1 because the Huskies are a little bit better, but we still have to see how these last 4 weeks go. But I think more times than not, all 3 of you would win. It's just that all of your teams have gone from horrible to really good in the same year. Third and 2. Mahomes gets the touchdown. We have a flag. I think that's going to be a roughing the passer, though. So this play is probably going to stand. You and the coach of the race. If the Cardinals go on a big run at the end of the year and make the playoffs, maybe. It's a defensive pass interference. Okay, so it's not a roughing the passer, but it is a penalty on the defense. Going to spend all your money on corners. That's probably smart because your corner room is not great. Dog of the Year award goes to Zach Wilson, of course. So the Wizards now lead by 10. Did the Wizards start with the ball? I think they did because they scored a field goal on the first drive. What's the meme of the year? There are a few good choices. I would say certainly all the bad teams becoming good out of nowhere. Hector's always a candidate. I think the preseason Sims are an option because some of those results were pretty wild. And then I would probably have to go back and look through some of the streams to try to figure out what some of the other contenders would be. Because off the top of my head, I don't really know, but I feel like there are good ones. Aaron Rodgers sucking in San Francisco and then doing well in Miami, if he performs well the last 4 games of the year, that's certainly a candidate. They only have 21 seconds. They got to move quick. Brady is in the zone, though, so they've got a good opportunity. Should have been picked. Tom got awfully lucky there. Yeah, I think if you're the Tigers, you gotta start thinking about not throwing the ball less than 5 yards down the field. Well, they listened, but it didn't work. 4th and 4, they just got to punt it. No reason to get cute. I'll spend another 20 hours if I can relocate somewhere soon. We all know Aaron not getting forced to get vaccinated in Miami and him being forced to in San Francisco is a contender. Tom Brady running is a good one too. I don't know if that one would win, but that one might make the vote. (17-7) at halftime. The Wizards had the lead. The Tigers do start the ball in the second half, but Chicago's got to get it moving here or else they could be in trouble. He was certainly moving there all right. Brady has not looked very good today. He's been very mid. He certainly, it seems like when we've watched the Tigers this year, it feels like he has lost a step a little bit. Do you think you should be in the Coach of the Year race because you turned a horrible team last year into a team that's contending almost every game? I would say you certainly have a shot of making the ballot. The problem is there's so many good candidates this year, and I can only pick 5 because I only choose 5. But especially if you guys play well at the end of the year, you certainly could make it. Definitely if you guys make the playoffs. Worst dynasty in OFL. Well, how many dynasties are there? Like 3? I mean, the Niners of OFL 20 are a dynasty. The Rams of OFL 19 are a dynasty. The Patriots of OFL 20, I guess, are. And that's probably about it, unless you want to throw the Bucks last year. And I guess Seattle this year, too. Yeah, I would argue Seattle. If you're going to include all of those, I would say Seattle's this year is the worst. Because if you put Seattle's team this year and the OFL 29ers on the field, the Niners would wipe them off the turf. Jordan Love. I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out like criteria for a comeback player of the year. And this year, Jordan Love is like by far the favorite. Actually, maybe not. Hector would be in the running too. Because both Hector and Love were pretty bad last year. Now they're both probably MVP candidates. Do you think your team is good in watch games? I think the Wizards are definitely better in watch than sim, which isn't a bad thing. Because once we get to the playoffs, that's where we watch pretty much every game. So, although the Wizards game against the Dolphins last year was simmed, but other than that, for the most part, a lot of the playoffs games we watch are sim. Are you Christian? No, my name is not Christian. So, yeah. OFL 19 Rams versus OFL 29ers. I think that would be a fun game. Lamar Jackson versus Lamar Jackson. I have a hunch Lamar Jackson would win. I would probably biasedly pick the Niners, but those Rams teams were very good. We had only 3 seasons of OFL 19, and the Rams made the OFL Bowl all 3 years, winning 2 of them. Nick, let's be honest, if the Black Knights were to play the frauder Niners, we would win. Well, that's probably true because the Black Knights are better, but... So it's Patrick. Yeah, it's definitely Patrick. OFL 29ers versus OFL 21 Diablos. My 2 teams pinned against each other. Definitely the Niners. The Diablos last year were very good. We consistently made the playoffs. We obviously made the OFL Bowl twice, winning once. But I think the OFL 29ers would probably win. I don't think any team could beat the OFL 29ers in like a 7-game series. Huskies are the 5-0 Browns from a year or 2 ago. I don't remember the Browns being 5-0. I guess they were, but normally Knicks teams start horrible at the beginning of the year. And then they're good after like the trade deadline. And this year that might be the case too. Although they weren't very good last year, so maybe not. Will Octi's Vikings manage to make... I would feel very disappointed if I don't make the OFL Bowl at least once this year. So, that would be disappointing. I certainly hope we can get in once. I don't think this year is going to be the year. So, I might go a little bit more aggressive this offseason and try to make the team extra good. What was the OFL 29ers roster? I know you could easily find an old roster video on this channel, but the baseline of that roster, nice touchdown, the baseline of that group was like Lamar Jackson, Kareem Hunt, CeeDee Lamb, Jeff Okudah was really good. I had Luke Kuechly and Harrison Smith that year when both of them were like unbelievably cheesy. I think I had Khalil Mack on that team. My pass rush was really good. Did I have any other great pass rushers? I don't think so. That was when Hakeem Butler was our tight end, and he made the Hall of Fame. I think Devin White was on that team. I had Devin White every year except for this year. And, of course, he's on the Tigers now. Trade me, Terry McLaurin, and I'll guarantee you an OFL Bowl win. Totally. Well, how would that happen? OFL 21, Scooter led the Chiefs with Fox, Ruggs, Shoddy, and Ridley versus the OFL 22 Black Knights. I think this year's Black Knights team would probably win, but those Chiefs teams were talented. They just got unlucky because they were in a really good division. With the Chargers. Were the Chargers good last year? I don't even remember much about the Chargers. I think wasn't IT on the Chargers for like a very short time? I feel like he was. The Raiders were always competitive, and obviously the Diablos were really good too. Jeff Okudah was drafted in the first year because we used the real draft classes in Madden 20. And I had like 3 first-round picks the first year, so that's how I got guys like Jeff Okudah and CeeDee Lamb. I don't think we did a sim year in Madden 20, though. So we had 1 full season, and then we had the draft. The first year we did the sim year was last year. Most boring OFL Bowl. I feel like, I don't know, off the top of my head, I usually only remember the really good ones. rather than the boring ones. But I guess in OFL 22, other than last year's, which was really good, there haven't been a ton of good ones this year, except for last year. Oh yeah, Pro is the Chargers. That's right, I forgot about that. I don't think I've heard from him in a while. I don't know what he's up to, but yeah, Pro is the Chargers. I was the Diablos. Lucario was for Raiders. And why am I forgetting who the Chiefs were? Oh, Cobra. I'm stupid. Cobra's the one talking about the Chiefs. Why am I forgetting that? But yeah, that division was very, very good. What team was Theo on? Theo was here in OFL 20. He started with the Bucks, but then the Bucks coach got caught using a burner. So then Theo was traded to the Ravens with Meals. And I don't think Theo's teams were ever any good. Best play from every OFL era. From this year, it's got to be the tipped catch by Keenan Allen. The main one I can think of from OFL 20 would be the Riley Ridley catch in OFL Bowl 5, which pretty much won us the game. I can't really think of any obvious ones off the top of my head. I know they're a good... Oh, OFL 21, the Hail Mary with the Cardinals against Nick. That's an easy one. How do you get caught with a burner? So pretty much, we were suspicious that he had multiple accounts and was coaching multiple different teams. So what we did was we told him to DM us screenshots of like a negotiated trade between him and a different coach so he wouldn't catch on. And then we asked him for screenshots between him and his burner because he made trades with his burner. He was the Bucks and his other account was the Cowboys. And he had been making trades with himself. So by getting those screenshots, we were able to figure out that, you know, they were the same person. He took a while to send the screenshots because he was DMing himself the trade stuff, and we were able to figure out that he was the same person. And we kind of caught on a little bit beforehand. We were a little bit suspicious. Talk about a cheater. Before that in OFL 20, we had a guy who coached like 9 different teams. He had like 9 separate accounts. We caught on really quickly, but he made a bazillion. I don't think he ever traded with himself though, which is odd. But he had a bunch of burner accounts and had like 9 different teams. Yeah, OFL 20 was a weird time. It was probably my favorite OFL, not just because my team was good, but there were some weird characters in OFL 20. So he was making his team worse and better at the same time. I think the point of that was to make his main team good, or better. Imagine you trade with yourself, but you made it fair. I mean, that's still cheating regardless, but... Remember that? Yeah, that was last year in OFL 21 when we had the guy who created a coach, and then with a different account, he created a player, and he interviewed himself. I think we figured it out pretty quickly then as well, but he literally interviewed himself on his 2 different accounts. Like, he was flip-flopping through his stuff. That's kind of sad. Remember, Moltak was the guy who traded with himself. He's the guy we're talking about, who was the Bucks and then was the Cowboys. That was who Moltak was, and that's when Theo was on the Bucks. And then after we caught them, we let Theo go to a different team, and he obviously did not last much longer either because, well, he was entitled and nobody liked him because he was annoying. And yeah, all those people have been banned forever because they know, or they probably don't know, but they were not good. Put it that way. No, the Bucks won 2 OFL Bowls in OFL 21. This was the year prior. This is OFL 20 when the Niners and the Patriots made the OFL Bowl like every year. So this was before the Bucks were good with Jordan Love. What if I was Moltak secretly? Well, at this point, if that was true and you're not cheating, then I would probably just let you back, and I wouldn't really care. That would be funny, though. Multack made a separate account and did a good job of hiding it for the past, 9 months. If anything, he would just deserve a ton of credit for that. Nice touchdown for Tony Pollard. The Tigers, in fact, do not know what the defense is. That's why I think I don't like OFL Bowls 6 and 7. Why? Because we won? Those were the other two the Niners had won. We won 5, 6, and 7. Because 5 was the first one, and we won 3 in a row. What if Multack is here and we just don't know? I mean, we're not talking bad about him. I mean, I didn't dislike the kid. He was only here for a little while, so I didn't know him that well. But he wasn't like a bad dude or anything. He just cheated. He got caught, and that was that. We haven't heard from him for a good 2 years. Yeah, pretty much right when the pandemic hit was when OFL kind of got weird. What if I had a burner? Well, if as long as you're not cheating, I don't care if you have multiple accounts. It's just that those people use multiple accounts to cheat. So, if you have, separate accounts on, different devices, I obviously have no reason to care about that. It was because the same team won OFL Bowls 3 in a row. Well, I made it a point after OFL 20 to make sure there was more parity in the league, and I think I've done a good job of that. But, yeah, I did enjoy winning 3 OFL Bowls in a row. I did enjoy my little dynasty. Nick is my burner. This is how Nick makes sure he can coach the Cardinals again. By creating Denmark. Multack is actually doing very well on YouTube. Good for him. Good for him. If I had a burner, I'd be so elaborate and make each one a character. One's an Eagles fan and the other one is a Titans fan. Yeah, I don't think the people who made burners really... They didn't do a good job of hiding it, put it that way, because we were able to we could tell something was off, and obviously we were right about that. They typed similarly, they never typed at the same time, and obviously with Multack, he made trades with himself, and we were able to figure out that he was the same person. So I think the problem with the people who got caught was that they did not do a good job of hiding it and making separate characters for their burners. What a dot from Brady to, I think, Nicole Hardman. The Tigers are hanging in there. Even though they haven't been able to maintain a lead or anything, they're hanging in there. Pandemic hit, people had way more times on their hands and started making alternates. That's true. And before the pandemic, the OFL moved a lot slower. So the pandemic was kind of good because we were able to move, or at least for the OFL, because in OFL 20 I was able to move a lot quicker and then get into a groove through the past couple of OFLs. Type one on my laptop, one on my other account, and just say they're in different time zones. There you go. Luckily, we haven't had any instances like that in a while, so maybe it would be harder to notice. What if all along Octi is Nick? I mean, we've never heard Nick's voice, so it's possible. I guess that's true. If that's the case, I've been doing a damn good job of it for the past 4 years, because Nick has been here since the first day. That'd be quite the plot twist if I was using a burner, especially one like Nick who's been here the whole time. I can tell you right now that I'm not, but that would be kind of funny. Octi is my all. I'm Denmark's backup account. I'm only a backup account. I'm not a main account. I'm a backup. Ooh, nice spin move. He is out of bounds, though, which stops the clock. And with 2:01 left, the clock is going to be stopped after this play anyway. I'm everyone's alternate, apparently. Everyone has burners, so I can ban all of you. But I guess I'd have to ban myself if I'm everyone's backups. If I was to ever make a burner, I'd make sure to talk like an entitled white boy from Beverly Hills named Tyler. That's the perfect name for it. Tyler. It doesn't get more white than that. The Wizards are in field goal range, so they should be fine here with Mahomes and Tyreek Hill in the zone. Although it doesn't really matter because they're pretty much running the ball. First down here officially ends the game. It's a 3rd and 2. They're going to run it, and they got it. Stetson. That's very white. Shout out to Stetson Bennett, everybody's favorite national championship winning quarterback. Good old Stetson Bennett the 4th, excuse me. I think he's the 4th. Chester, Logan, Thomas, all very white. Imagine if someone hired a guy to control an OFL team. That would be something. What else is something is how well Patrick Mahomes played. He played out of his mind. Brady statistically was good. I'm surprised his numbers were that good, to be honest. I guess he was better in the second half. McCaffrey was solid. Tony Pollard had a nice day. Caught a couple of touchdowns. Ooh, Nick Boyle's hurt. That's a big deal. Hardman, Butte, Kadarius Toney also played well. They shut down Jamison Williams. He did score, but he only had 17 yards. You'll never see anyone not white named Brock. Shout out Brock Byers. Zach Wilson's going to go 4-0 today. He can't go 4-0 because we're only doing 3 weeks. So, sorry to burst your bubble, Zach Wilson. But we're not doing Week 18 today. Week 18 gets its own stream, which will be sometime this weekend. All right, let's see what happened around the rest of the league, starting with the Columbus Aviators. And they lose to the Shamrocks, 38-31. Octi is Polish. Octi is definitely not Polish. Carson's drawing 4 touchdowns, but it's still not enough. I didn't even read the part about the same age that he likes as women. I just saw Zach Wilson's going to go 4-0 today. I'm stupid. My bad for not reading the full joke. Yeah, now that's funny. Apparently, I didn't get the memo because I'm blind. 3 sacks for Carl Lawson. Interception for future Lion legend Deshaun Elliott. The Bats lose to the Giants, so New York is now half a game within the Black Knights because they were 1 back going into the day. Octi secretly lives in Poland. Wouldn't it be like nighttime at this point? What time is it in Poland? It's 10:13, yeah. What's going on, Giddy? Welcome in. We have not gotten to your game yet, by the way. Wow, Mac Jones played out of his mind. So the Giants should make it to the playoffs 3 years in a row, right? Yeah, they made it last year, and they made it the year before. They're probably going to make it this year. Say what you want about Naruto's coaching ability, but he constantly builds playoff teams. And he has a ring. Not many other coaches can say that. Zach Wilson gets a 5+ upgrade since Octi didn't get to read the full joke. Honestly, that's fair. Ooh, the Bears upset the Niners 28-21. No 4-0 the rest of the way for Zach Wilson. I hope he likes his women 31. Because now he hopes he goes 3-1. Deontay Johnson played very well again, though. Explains why you're late. I was on time today. What OFL Bowls did Naruto win? Naruto won OFL Bowl 8. He was New England the last year of OFL 20. So he didn't really build that team, but he did win a ring, technically. Oh my lord! The Beats defeat New England 44-3. Okay, that's a surprise. Joe Burrow was good. Trevor Lawrence was horrible. So maybe New England does not have his division locked up like we thought. Zach Wilson goes 0-4. The same age he likes as women. Damn. I think the Pats and the Pioneers are both trying to hand each other the 1 seed in the AFC. With both teams losing, what if, like, the Ravens sneak in to get first place? Are you kidding? We lost to a team who's tanking. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this. We're just going to go through it real quick. We lost to a team who is intentionally tanking. All right, moving on. Gonna forget that happened. The Black Knights lose to the Panthers, 28-21. Bryce Young and Jordan Love were both good, but Bryce Young was a little bit better. So now the Giants and the Black Knights are tied. Did they split? Yeah, they did. So the next tiebreaker would be interdivision record. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Where's the other bats game? Week 18. So the Black Knights are currently 4-1 in the division. The Giants, 2-1, 3-1. Where's the other bats game? No, that's the Saints. 4-1. So they both have the same interdivision record. So I think after that it would be common opponents. The Broncos have won 3 in a row. Look out for them. Maybe they make a wild card run featuring quarterback Andy Morrison Jr., who threw 3 touchdowns. Denver won 2 OFL Bowls in the sim year. Maybe they're starting to finally come alive here late in the year. I go 17-0. Same age I like my women. Let's just say you going down under is not the only thing your women are doing about going down under. The Pioneers beat the Browns 30-28. Both quarterbacks were really good. Joe Mixon was also really good. I.T. Thomas, not so much. 2.6 yards a pop. So the Pioneers get back on the win column. I think they are now passing New England from a 1 seed in the AFC, whereas the Browns are not in as good of a spot. The Bucks, they upset Atlanta 24-21. Does this eliminate Cleveland? Cleveland is not eliminated, but they're also probably not in a good spot. But they're definitely not eliminated. The Cardinals lose to the Saints 14-17. By week 14 next year, I'll be 13-0, the same age I like my women. The Chiefs beat the Diablos 35-24. The Chiefs are not going to quit this AFC West race. They're right up there with the Pioneers. Diablos still have a shot at the wild card, but I wouldn't say they're particularly in a great spot either. They're very streaky. The Kansas City Chiefs. But they haven't been Chiefs this year. The Miami Dolphins lose to the Lions. The Dolphins are kind of falling off a little bit. They've lost 3 of 4. I go 0-1, the same age I like my women. Deshaun Watson was bad, but he was not as bad as Aaron Rodgers, who played horribly. So here's the San Francisco Aaron Rodgers. Can you put my best free safety at corner? Because my corners are killing me. I don't normally do position changes midstream. So have fun with your current corners. Although you signed a couple decent players in waivers. So I don't think it's too much of a difference. The Ravens beat the football team 38-31. So Washington's pretty much done at this point, I think. The Ravens probably clinched. They probably clinched the division, right? Because the Browns lost, the Aviators lost, and they won. So if my math is correct, the Ravens should have the AFC North clinched. 9 sacks. That's a big number. The Niners lost. The Giants won. Uh-oh! Are the Huskies falling apart? They have now lost 2 in a row. This time to the Seahawks. It's a damn shame that, we are not good. Because if we were good, maybe we could make some noise in this division. But instead, we're losing to teams like the Bison. Hector got sacked 7 times. The horrible offensive line from last year is back. 3.5 sacks for Tyler Davis. This means the Seahawks are now in sole possession of first place in the NFC West. The Rams beat the Jets in a good old-fashioned tank bowl. Although I guess the Rams aren't really out of it, but they're also not, in it. Elijah Chisholm completed 4 Oh, he got hurt. That's why he completed 4 passes. But the backup, Daniel LaRusso, was not much better. So the Jets are probably going to get the number 1 pick. Oh, wait, they don't have their pick. Dublin's got to be licking their chops with the Jets losing and all of the tanking teams winning, like the Bison and the Lions. The Rams have won 3 in a row. Maybe they are making some noise. All right, that should be everybody. Okay. I think we should still watch me versus Hector. Well, that game didn't get enough votes. Blame the people. So as it stands now, we've had one team join the Huskies in the playoffs. It is the Baltimore Ravens, who have clinched the division. Nobody else has officially won a spot. So in the AFC North, the Ravens have won the division. They are in. They have punched their ticket. They're going to host a playoff game. The Browns and the Aviators are still fighting for a wild card spot, but it's not looking good. AFC South, the Wizards take first place, beating the Tigers. At least I didn't lose to the Blazers. Be quiet. The Patriots still lead the AFC East by 2 games. They could have clinched with a win, but instead they got smacked by the Beats. The Pioneers are still a game ahead of the Chiefs. Broncos have won 3 in a row. They're making some noise. The Huskies have already won the North, although they're kind of falling apart. The Vikings are also falling apart. In the South, the Panthers are a game ahead of the Saints still. Then in the East, the Giants are in first, so they were tied going into this dream. So now the Giants, who have won 7 in a row, are in first place in the NFC East. The Black Knights not too far behind. And then the Seahawks are in sole possession of first place in the West. So the Giants have by far the longest win streak, right? The longest losing streak is 2. And the only teams here are playoff teams, possible playoff teams, and the Huskies. As for the longest winning streak, it's the Giants and then the Broncos and Rams with 3. Interesting. So, as we look at the playoff picture, what's good, Nick? Welcome in. How are we still in? We do not deserve to be a playoff team. So, the Patriots are still the 1 seed, even though they got smoked. I want to compare this to last week's, because this doesn't look very different. Hold on, let's check. I imagine I showed it right at the end. Okay, so in the AFC, the Wizards have moved up to 4th. The Tigers, who were 4, are out. The Beats move up a spot, and the Dolphins move up a spot despite losing. As for the NFC, the Giants and the Black Knights have flip-flopped. The Seahawks have gone from 7 to 4. The Panthers move up a spot, and the Niners move down all the way from 3 to 7. So the only new team in here is the Dolphins, and they just lost, which is odd, but okay. All right, the next game of the day should be the Seahawks and Rams. This is actually, no, this game is tied with Week 17's winner of the Ravens and the Pioneers. So since the 2 games are tied and we're only watching one of them, we're going to have a vote to decide which one we want to watch. If you want to watch Seahawks and Niners, type in the word West. If you want to watch Ravens and Pioneers, type in the word Dan. Both games are very important because for the Seahawks and Niners, it probably determines the winner of the NFC West, but the Ravens and Pioneers could determine the number 1 seed in the AFC. They're both 10-4 with New England. So Dan is Ravens and Pioneers. West is Seahawks and Niners. I see a lot of Dan. Dan. Ravens, which is Dan. 5-1. I don't really have a preference because I think both games are pretty much equally as important. Your game is also important, but it didn't get enough votes. Here, why don't we look at the Black Knights' schedule for Week 18? If they don't play anybody interesting, we'll simcast their game this week just because we have not watched them all year. I think that's fair. The Bats. Yeah, no, this game's not going on the poll. So, I'll simcast this game along with the Seahawks and Niners. If anything, I would be happy if I was you, Nickinator, because the Seahawks are better in watched than they are in the sim. So, if anything, I think this is a good thing for San Francisco that we're not watching this game. All right, we'll start with the Huskies and the Black Knights. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. That's 2. So we're going to use the Black Knights, and Cobra can pick his jerseys. The offense plays well, defense lays an egg. What's new? Part of me was thinking that, yeah, even though you don't get to watch your team, you have a better chance of winning this way. So, would you rather watch your team now or in the playoffs at home? Think of it that way. All right, Cobra, which jerseys do you want to wear? Do you want to wear all black? Do you want to wear a mixture of red or white or something? 92 overall defense. Even if the Black Knights lose out, you still have a good shot at the playoffs because every NFC wildcard team is throwing at this point. So you could lose out and still get in. Black jersey, red pants. Yeah, some of these teams in the NFC are just so weird. I mean, the Vikings losing to a team who's tanking, yet we're still the 6th seed somehow. All right, if the game gets close, obviously we're going to hop in. In my opinion, the two best teams in the NFC, even though both teams are not playing all that well as of lately. Huskies lead 7-3 after the first. I think Toronto can probably clinch the 1 seed if they win today. All right, both teams match what they did in the first quarter. London ties it up. London takes the lead. Big third quarter for the Black Knights. They score another field goal. Toronto quickly scores a touchdown. We're going to move a little bit slower. Big play for A.J. Brown. Can they take the lead at the 1? They do, and they get the 2-point conversion. 28-21. 4th and 13, Huskies punt it. 3rd down and 11, they convert. 13 yards for Giddy Dunbar. Sack for Derek Nottie. 3rd down, incomplete. I say we hop in here. Just over 2 minutes to go. The Black Knights lead by 7. Why did we watch Wizards-Tigers but not this game? Because Wizards and Tigers got a lot of votes. But I mean, that game was important too because the Wizards and Tigers were tied for the lead in the AFC South. So that game was still very important, even if these two teams are a little bit better. But this game surprisingly got a very low amount of votes. And the only reason why I'm simcasting it is because we haven't watched London all year. So I feel like that's fair. If they do miss the playoffs, which is unlikely. London's probably going to get in. But just in case, to be safe, to make sure we get to see these guys at least once. At the 2-minute warning, good throw up the middle for Chase Claypool. Someone should make a Woj character for the OFL and Elite Trades. I don't know how someone would do that. I guess going into DMs and talking to people all the time, but that would be fun. Jonathan Cooper. Is that Jonathan Cooper? Is that his name? Ohio State, I think. 2.5 sacks. These are the two best teams in the NFC. I agree. I would have loved to have watched this game in full. I don't know how this game did not get many votes. This very well could be an NFC Championship preview, although it would probably be in Toronto. 3rd and 10, they get about 8 or 9. 4th and 1 at the 36, probably for the game. The Huskies obviously got to go for it. I think I just said Mike Evans has 203 yards. Yeah, that's what happens when you have the Black Knights cornerback room. From the 25, Hector Estrada under pressure, sacked again. This time it's Hunglinson Frederick, the 3rd overall pick out of Florida. Was he Florida? I think. Stream throws. Did that happen to everybody? That's not good. Throw back to last year when it froze during the Rams playoff game and we missed like the 2 most important plays of the game. Or I say we. Everybody missed it except for me. Oh, he was out of bounds. That stops the clock. 3rd and 11 from the 26. We're down to 24 seconds. Estrada for the end zone for Evans. It's incomplete. All right, for the ball game, can the Huskies lose 3 in a row? 4th and 11. London pretty much clinches a playoff spot with a win. In the end zone, it's caught for a touchdown on 4th and 11 by Chase Claypool, and we are tied at 28, assuming they make the kick. Wow. Yeah, if London wins, there's pretty much no way they don't get in. Hector just got here. Talk about timing. What is your record? You guys are 12-2. You lost your first game today to the Seahawks. So you've lost 2 in a row. Claypool still is in top 3. I want to see Jordan Love launch a yeet. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him. I mean, they have some good receivers on this team. Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown. That's a good run for Aaron Jones. So that means they're probably going to try, yeah. 8 seconds. I would run another play before a Hail Mary. Because they still have 8 seconds and a timeout. But I guess they're going to go for the Hail Mary right away. To keep this game out of overtime, Jordan Love heaves it up. It is incomplete. All right, we do not have a winner through 4 quarters. This game is going to overtime. Can the Huskies clinch the #1 seed in the NFC with a win today? If the Black Knights win, they pretty much clinch a playoff spot. Heads or tails, tails never fails. Sorry, Huskies, it failed this time. The Black Knights win the toss, so they will start on offense. Can London win the game here starting with the ball? Remember the OFL Bowl 3 Hail Mary? I don't remember this. That was when the Rams played the Bills. That was Apple's first year of coaching when he was the coach of the Bills. I don't remember that at all. I don't think that game was all that close. Maybe I'm wrong. You screwed us over. What did I do? How did I screw you over? We got a full drive of Jordan Love. This should be exciting. 6-minute overtime period. If we do not have a winner after the 6 minutes, it will be a tie. If the Black Knights score a touchdown on this drive, the game is over. Who's your MVP of this game? I think Mike Evans has like 200 yards, so it's probably him. But I guess that's what happens when the Black Knights corners are just completely AIDS. Heck Toronto time. Well, heck Toronto might not even get the ball the rest of this game. I don't think we've had a tie once in OFL 22, so I wouldn't mind having a tie. It was 24-8 final seconds. The Bills did a Hail Mary and they caught it. Okay, so it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but still a cool Hail Mary with quarterback Carson Wentz. I don't remember anybody else on Apple's team that year. I just know he traded his entire team for Wentz, and I thought it was horrible, but they won the OFL ball, so it didn't really matter. Or they made it to the OFL ball. They didn't win it. What am I talking about? Jordan Love has thrown 20 incompletions today, but he does have 342 yards. He's been statistically pretty good. Not as good as Hector, but still quite solid. Josh Jacobs with room inside the 15. London's getting close. Who's hurt? Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, that's a big deal. That's a holding on London, probably. On Deebo. So instead of having it in the red zone, they're backed up at the 32. They do get to replay second down, though. Second and 13. Love misfires. This is still field goal range, but if Jordan Love gets sacked here or something, then they're kind of in a bad spot. Third and 13. Love is going to be sacked by Chase Young. That knocks him out of field goal range. Wow. London has 7 sacks today. Yeah, Toronto's offensive line is still AIDS. Just like last year. It's like last year's Huskies are back. Now that their offensive line isn't good again, it's Toronto from a year ago all over again. What a punt by A.J. Cole to the 7. So now that London did not score, it's the first one to score wins. A safety is very much in play here, and London, of course, has 7 sacks. Can they make it 8? No, and now the safety idea is pretty much dead. Hector has 445 yards and 4 touchdowns. He might honestly be the MVP of the league. Incoming pick. That would be hilarious. But with how Hector's played, I wouldn't really count on that. If this is what these two teams are going to look like in the playoffs, I would love to see these two teams in the NFC Championship. I'm obviously assuming we're not going to make it. So I think a rematch of these two teams in the Conference Championship, a full game of this, would be a blast. Second and 10, 2:25 to go. Not a lot of time. Third and 9. Biggest play of the game. 2-minute warning. Yeah, we should have watched this game. I told you that we should have got more votes on this. This game got 4 votes. Whoever voted for this game is getting a shout-out. 5 votes. Cobra, Bubba, Dan Dutton, and Denmark. You guys are cool. 3rd and 9, it's incomplete. London gets the stop. Yeah, I know we're in a good spot to make it, but I don't see us beating a team like this in the playoffs. Even in watch, I think we would get smoked. What a punt to the 1! Oh boy, now a safety could really happen. Bubba voted for every game, he doesn't count. Okay, so this game got 4 votes. And I voted for every game, so it doesn't count. So that's 3 votes. Gotta look out for the safety, Jordan Love. He barely gets rid of it. That was a good play by Love to quickly get the ball out. Because otherwise, if he was tackled, that would have been the end of the game. Josh Jacobs gets a few. And Josh Uche is hurt. It's 3rd and 6. They're backed up at the 4. Even though they're backed up in their own end zone, they got to throw the ball here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They got to throw the ball. Love looking to throw it. He's just shy of the first down marker, and they're going to punt it probably. We might actually get a tie. Imagine that. That'll make the NFC playoffs really weird. I think you could have made a rationale to go for it there on 4th and 1, but if the Black Knights had been stopped, that's the end of the game. They would have lost. This way, there's still a real opportunity for a tie. Although, now at the 44, it's not looking too hot. Huskies are very close to field goal range. As Mike Evans is not going to catch it. Hector says he ate playing games and then throws a pick 6. That would be gold. 2nd and 10. They got it back to Evans. Not a first down because of forward progress. And it's a 3rd and 1. They're right on the edge of field goal range. They're right on the edge. London stacking the box. They got to be prepared for a run. 3rd and 2, actually. Handoff for Sermon. I don't think he got it. Nope. So 4th and 1. They could go for it here. I would kick. And they're going to kick. All right. London's out of timeout, so they can't ice the kicker. 51-yard attempt. This is no guarantee. 4 of a win. Doink! He missed it! The Huskies missed the game-winning field goal. Did that go off the crossbar? No, it was just wide right. So the Black Knights are now going to get it back with an opportunity to win with 1:05 and no timeouts. This is awesome. This game didn't even win the vote. I just did it because I felt bad for Cobra that his team hasn't been watched all year. They lost about half of their time by throwing a check down. That's very stupid. Did they just run the ball with 30 seconds and no timeouts? What are they doing? They're playing for the tie. They're literally playing for the tie. This is horrible. What are they doing? 3rd and 9. Love is under a ton of pressure and he throws it in the ground. Just lob up a Hail Mary at this point. Yeah, even though it's 4th down. What if Jordan Love gets sacked and there's still time on the clock? 4th and 9, probably for the game. If not, we're going to have a tie. Jordan Love heaves it up for the end zone. We're not going to see the Huskies get it back. Flag on the play. It's caught in the end zone. Oh, no, but there's a flag. No way. If it's on Toronto, if it's on London, I swear to God. Pass interference on the defense. It's going to count. London's going to win the game. Madden really does not want us to have a tie. Holy smokes! The London Black Knights win the game on a game-winning Hail Mary as time expires in overtime from Jordan Love to, I think, A.J. Brown. What is with Canadian teams and they're losing on Hail Marys? Oh my God! Yeah, can we have this for a playoff game, please? Holy smokes. Why didn't we... I wish we watched the whole game. Oh, my Lord. Huh, there you go. Both quarterbacks were very, very good. Mike Evans, 10 for 236 and 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, of course, had the game winner, right? 58 yards, that looks right. I am in shock. I want a 3,000-word essay on why you guys did not vote for this game. Everybody didn't vote for it. Oh, and they're not even going to show the replay. That's weak. Yet we can see the 3rd and 9 throwaway when he threw it into the dirt. I'll call this Hector's Hail Mary. Well, you got to explain it in no less than 3,000 words, Nickinator, why your team deserved your vote, which now we're going to get to your team, which is also a Simcast game. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. That is San Francisco. My mind is blown right now. That was quite the game. Is Hector's Hail Mary... Well, the tip miracle happened in the OFL Bowl, so I would say by default, no. Because this was a regular season game, an important regular season game, but it was a regular season game. My team was playing times 3,000. Fair enough. All right, which jerseys do you want, my good sir? This is the first time Siri's ever picked you. Congratulations. I hope we get to hop into this one also. Well, let's hope it's close. Love Don Mania. And Love Don Mania is probably going to be in the playoffs. All red. Okay. Do they have any specific all red jersey combos? Do I guess I got to manually do it. They definitely have red pants in here somewhere, right? There has to be. They don't have red pants. Well, my good sir, you cannot do all red because they do not have red pants. Apparently. I did not realize that until now. That's weird. Never worn all red, and I guess you never will. Thanks, EA. Do the all blacks. Yes, everyone wants the all black. Do they have all... Yeah, no, they don't have all red. Do what the people want. Even if he didn't catch it, it would have been a PI. Yeah, but the clock also had stopped. So I don't think they would have gotten another play, right? Would London have gotten another play? Because even though they would have moved to a 1, the clock was at 0. So I don't know what the rule would be there. Would it have moved them to a 1 or would it have been a touchdown? Hold on. Let me see what the penalty would have been if they accepted it. Yeah, it would have been 1st and goal at the 1. How do you have a pass interference on a Hail Mary, though? Red jersey, black pants. How is one stupid enough to have a pass interference on a Hail Mary? That's dumb. That's really, really dumb. I mean, it didn't matter because he caught it, but can you be stupid enough to have a pass interference on a Hail Mary? There's no way Madden didn't script that. They just don't want the game to end in a tie. So it's like either the penalty or they catch the Hail Mary, and in this case it was both. In the words of Brian Kelly, the DB needs to be executed. Close start. Seattle leads 14-10. Make it 17-10. Who starts the ball? The Niners do, and they do nothing with it. Seattle scores again. Niners quickly answer back. All right, we're going to move a little bit slower. Seattle has it in the red zone, and they score a touchdown. San Francisco's got some groundwork to do. 4th down, they get stopped. Yeah, not looking good for Niners. They get stopped again. This game is over. The Seahawks are going to win it 37-17. Seattle is now 2 games ahead of the Niners for first place in the West with 2 weeks to go. So in other words, Seattle's probably going to win this division. The Niners fall under 500, 7-8, but that might not matter with how weird the NFC wildcard race is. And now that Seattle is back in the playoffs, now we can all be equally terrified because, well, Seattle's better in the playoffs. Good thing the Niners lost because of a red on black. Looked really ugly. Yes, we chose that game over yours. That is correct. All right, sim time. We ran the ball 10 times. Why? That's a good question. All right, let's see what happened around the rest of the league. Starting with the Giants. Do they make it 8 in a row? They do. Wow, the Tigers are kind of falling off a little bit. So Chicago is now 7-8, and they have a real shot of not making the playoffs with another very good game from Mac Jones. Saquon Barkley was also very good. The Huskies obviously lost. The Jags beat the Bison 34-27. The Jags' slim playoff chances stay alive, and the Bisons help the tank. See, why couldn't we have done this last week? So will your win versus Hector not? It might not matter. I mean, it'll probably help your wild card seeding at worst. So it'll still definitely matter. The Jets lose to the Patriots. New England gets back on the win column. This means the Patriots will hold on to the number 1 seed with 2 weeks to go. We have not seen the Cardinals yet, no. The Lions beat the Bears in overtime, 41-35, in a good old-fashioned tank bowl. Can we sim the rest of the season? How about no? Did you trading Hurts save your coaching job? Well, it didn't save your coaching job because, oh, wow, a lot of rushing yards. You would have been the coach regardless, so I wouldn't say it saved your job, but it saved your team. Put it that way. Panthers lose to the Broncos. Denver is making some noise. They are 8-7, and they might actually get in after really looking out of it for most of the year. Oh, if this was real life, then yes, this would have saved your job. Just booted up Madden 12. I'm probably going to buy Madden 12 soon just so I can finally get my hands on it. Maybe I'll, if I figure out how to stream through my computer, that'd be fun. Like a Madden 12 stream just to, experiment. But Pioneers cannot seem to get on a win streak. They lose to the Chiefs 34-24, so I think this division is tied. I think they had the same record with the Chiefs. We'll have to see the tiebreaker. Obviously, the Chiefs won this game. Who do you guys play now? I don't remember. Hold on. They lost to the Chiefs both times, so the division's tied, and the Chiefs had the head-to-head. The Cardinals beat the Rams 42-39. Whoa. Okay, so Justin Fields got hurt. He was replaced by Tua Tagovailoa, who played awesome, throwing for 5 touchdowns. The Cardinals had 6 as a team, 3 of which were caught by Robert Woods, big old Bobby Trees. 3 sacks for Zadarius Smith. The Ravens, they win again, beating the Shamrocks, so Baltimore and New England are tied for the number 1 seed, with the Chiefs and Pioneers right behind. Can I make Tua the starter? We'll see what Justin Fields' injury is, but I can make that a depth chart change. If we have more than 32 people wanting to coach, they can be coordinators. The problem with that is I feel like assistant coaches just don't work. And we've never been in a situation where we have more than a few people on the waiting list. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I don't really see how coordinators would really be a factor. Because I wouldn't let coordinators make moves without the coach's approval and stuff. So I don't see how coordinators could have that big of a role. Did we see this game already? Yeah, we did. Seattle. They won. The Shamrocks lost. The Tigers lost. Thank God. We beat the Wizards by 1. Patrick Mahomes was solid. So was Malik Willis. So the Vikings are now 8-7. We should be in a good position to probably get like the 6th seed, because we're not going to pass the Giants or London. So we're probably going to get the 6th seed. So that means we're probably going to play the 3 seed, which I have a weird feeling is probably going to be Seattle. Hopefully not. I would rather play Carolina just because of my PTSD from last year against Seattle. The Aviators have lost 3 in a row. They lose to the Cleveland Browns, 35-14. 5 user coordinators. I've had a new defensive coordinator every stream. With FGFL gone, you can take over the Twitch, Madden Simulator. Well, is that like a big market? Because when I was on Twitch, it didn't really grow the community as I had kind of hoped. That's why I do it on YouTube, because it's easier and better quality. And League Pick 6. Thanks for the reminder, bud. IT at a yards per carry above 4. What a day. What a time to be alive. The Beats are 2-0 today, and the Dolphins are 0-2. So, barring something crazy, the Beats should make the playoffs as a wild card. Bison lost. The Black Knights won. Denver won again. The Browns won. The Bucks lose to the Diablos 31-21. The trade deadline back then was in weeks. Was it really that early? I've got to assume there's a setting to turn it off. I don't think the settings are that different. If not, then I guess we're having a week 6 trade deadline, boys, if we do choose Madden 12. The Dolphins have lost a few in a row. They've lost 4 or 5. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yikes. You can turn off trade deadlines. Okay, good. Did we check players of the week last week? I don't think we did. So for week 15, it's Mac Jones, Carson Strong, Preston Smith, and TJ Watt. Week 16, it's Hector Estrada, Joe Burrow, Zadarius Smith, and Chase Winovich. Who's the best kicker in the game? Probably Justin Tucker, who was on the Panthers. Looking at the standings, we've had a lot of teams clinch playoff spots. New England, the Giants, the Chiefs, the Pioneers, and the Black Knights have all clinched playoff spots. So with 2 weeks to go, half of the playoff spots have been clinched. Nobody else other than Toronto and Baltimore have clinched their divisions. But we now have 7 teams officially in the playoffs. The only teams with 9 wins right behind are the Beats and the Seahawks, and then we have a lot of teams with 8 wins. And a lot of teams with 7. So, in the AFC North, not much change here. The Ravens win the division, still fighting for the number 1 seed. The Browns still have a fighting shot with beating the Aviators. And as for Columbus, not really. AFC South, the Wizards and Tigers both lost, so the Wizards are still a game ahead. The Patriots have clinched a playoff spot. They are very close to clinching the division. They just need a win or a Beats loss. But regardless, the Beats should still get a wild card spot. The Dolphins are right on the edge. The Chiefs and Pioneers have both clinched playoff spots. The Chiefs have the head-to-head tiebreaker, and the Broncos have won 4 in a row. They might be the hottest team in the league, other than the Giants. The Huskies have lost 3 in a row, but they are still the heavy favorite to be the 1 seed. Minnesota back on the win column. So you can lose out and still make the playoffs, yes. The Panthers and Saints are now tied. We'll have to check the tiebreaker with them. The Giants are still a game ahead of London. Both teams are officially in. And Seattle is very close to clinching the West. So Seattle should be back in as well. Let's check the tiebreaker between Carolina and New Orleans. Panthers won. Ooh, they play week 18. We might have to watch that game. All right, let's look at the playoff picture, and then we'll get to week 17. So we've got some... How did we move down? We won. Okay? The Broncos are in. Hold on, let me go back and compare it to last week, because we have a lot of changes. So the Pioneers have dropped from 2 to 5. The Ravens have moved from 3 to 1. New England is at 2. The Chiefs go from 5 to 3. And the Broncos jump the Dolphins. In the NFC, Seattle and Carolina swap. The Saints jump both the Vikings and the Niners. All right, so the winning game this week was the Ravens and the Pioneers. This is a big game. Both of these teams have clinched a playoff spot, but they're playing for seeding. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. I think the Ravens are 1. Yeah. So Baltimore is 11 and 4. They are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. As for the Pioneers, they are currently 5. They probably won't go much lower than 5. They could still get the 1 seed hypothetically. They need a few things to go their way. But more importantly for the Pioneers, they're playing for the division. They're tied with the Chiefs, who have beat them twice. Got all brown versus all purple. How the hell do we still have a chance at the playoffs? That is a good question. And you still have a very real chance. Because you're what, 1 game back of the wild card spot? Yeah, the Broncos have 8 wins. There are a lot of teams fighting for that 7th seed in the AFC. You've got the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Tigers. Denver has the upper hand on all of those teams. Oh, I'm still usering both teams. Hold on. Oopsie poopsies. All right, now we're good. Your playoff hopes hinge... Wait, you guys play Denver? Why is that game not on the poll? That game's kind of important if you play Denver. I didn't even realize that. Huh. Well, yeah, that game might single-handedly determine if you get in. Do you guys play week 17? I guess I didn't put it on the poll because I didn't realize Denver was that close to a playoff spot. That may be a game we have to simcast, yeah. Going back to watching the boys, I'm going to be sad because you might make the playoffs. I mean, you're still only a game back of the wild card spot, so it's still possible. I don't trust the Saints or the Vikings to get one of those spots. So, I mean, the Niners are still certainly in a race. The Cardinals as well are only a game back. Maybe Atlanta. What division? Salt Lake City is in the AFC West. They used to be the Raiders. You want a bye. Well, bye's not very likely. It's possible. If the Huskies lose out and you guys win out and win the division, then you could get it. Cardinals, Vikings, week 18. That game might determine a wild card spot. Because we're 8-7 and you guys are 7-8. That's a very important game, depending on what happens this week. Zeke just annihilated it, dude. As Dwayne Bonds is hurt. This could be a playoff preview. Both of these teams have already clinched their spots. Obviously playing for seeding. The highest the Ravens can go is 1, alone with the Pioneers. Can you sim with a team like Chicago so I don't see my game's result? Yeah, that's fair. We can do Chicago. Or someone like that. Currently 1-1. The same age I like my women. 2 beast running backs going at it. That's true. Couple of MVP candidates. Jerome Diggs, Joe Mixon, maybe Zeke. Zeke's probably not an MVP candidate, but he's not far off. Is Hector still the MVP? Hector's certainly still in the running. We'll have to see how the vote goes, but he's certainly still in the discussion. 1-1, the same age I like my cars. 5 months old. I thought Apple was 13, though. No way Apple's 11. You're right, he's like 9. Ravens have to kick a field goal here, Mr. Jason Sanders. I could have sworn he was 13, because isn't 13 the age you need for a Discord account? And when I had banned Apple as a joke, the prank that the two of us made for his birthday when he wasn't 13... Hector is definitely better than Manhole, totally. Here comes Pioneer offense featuring quarterback Jerome Diggs, who's had a very, very good season, along with Joe Mixon, who has also been very, very good. You, Garrett, and Mr. Rob are the boomers. You can tell because his voice makes your ears bleed. You broke up with the girl you went to the movies with. I'm sorry, King. Will Anderson is hurt. That's kind of a big deal. Whoever thought 20-year-olds and borderline teenagers would ever be in the same Discord? Well, 20-year-olds and borderline teenagers both like football, so there you go. Hector's girl was his mother. Yeah, I think Pepperjack is in his 20s-ish, too. I don't know exactly. Was the Uche injury bad? I don't know. We can, I guess we can check. I also have to make 2 of the starter. I forgot to do that. Oh, I think he's like 10. Yeah, totally. Who's the oldest here? I guess probably Mr. Rob. So Lake City's moving it pretty nice. Diggs wanted to take a shot, but he is sacked by DeMarvin Leal. Tim Tebow's actually going to be good, isn't he? In Madden 12. FG is technically the oldest. Yeah, but FG's not a coach. Nice throw up the middle from Diggs for the first down over to TJ Hawkinson. I didn't realize I put Hawkinson's long, luscious locks in the game. I thought it was his old face scan when he had short hair as a rookie. Okay, how did that work? Diggs threw it between like 2 defenders and it was caught by the receiver. Is that Trayvon Parks? It is Trayvon Parks. Who is FG? FG is another sports content creator who has made draft classes for us, such as the one from last year. By default, I should take the Broncos and develop Tebow. Well, I mean, if you list the Broncos as your first choice and no one else does, then you'll probably get them. How is it like being an adult and worrying about taxes and everything? By default, you're going to have to do it how we do the team selection, which I don't know how that's going to be yet. Probably similar to last year. Can I make a Mexico? I don't know if relocation is going to be an option. I don't even know if relocation's in Madden 12. I know create a team is, but I don't really know how all that works. But Mexico Mexicans, that's a great name. Go team. They gave all those rookies A. Even Andy Dalton, was it that easy to just get an A potential? Because Andy Dalton was a second-round pick. He would probably have normal development in today's game. That's surprising. Did they just oh, it's intercepted! What a play! It's tipped and caught by the Pioneer defense. What if I make a Madden Mobile franchise with a Team Octi picks? Is that... Oh, I forgot Madden Mobile does kind of have a franchise. Diggs overthrows the back of the end zone. Feel like if that name would reach for wrong people, we would all be canceled. What name? I'm confused. Andy Dalton? Oh, the Mexico Mexicans. Oh. In that case, yeah, maybe. Dalton was very good as a rookie. Was he better than Cam Newton as a rookie? He was obviously better than the other guys because the other guys suck balls. Yeah, Eastwood's getting life. Through one, the Pioneers are looking good. They lead 7-3, and they have the ball pretty close to the red zone coming off their turnover. Imagine how Andy Dalton and Jared... Well, Andy Dalton was gone long enough to where I don't think he would feel bad. Goff, on the other hand, yeah, I don't think I would want it to be him on Super Bowl Sunday. 3rd and 9. He does not get it. Nice tackle. Just imagine someone like me, someone taking the Lions from him, and he starts yelling racial slurs. Oh, they're going for it. I did not expect that. It worked. Credit to him. Pioneers are not wusses, apparently. I did not expect that. Octi is like 9. Who is the youngest here? Well, Apple, I guess Apple or Cobra. Or, right? It's gotta be them. They're like practically nursery children. Third and 9. Diggs goes short. It is a touchdown for the tight end, TJ Hawkinson. The Lions. Or I thought Hector was a little bit older than both of them. Dalton was a quarterback in 20... Yeah, he was there 2 years before they made it. So I guess he could be a little bit upset. But the roster from 2019 to 2021 at the Bengals is drastically different. So I don't think it would be that big of a difference because the whole team, for the most part, is changed. And the guys who were there in 2019 are a lot better in 2021. Good run from Zeke. He's having another nice day. And he's in the zone. Oh boy. You play the Niners this week. Well, the Niners have been throwing the past couple weeks, so you're probably fine. A.J. Epineza with the sack. I think Brandon Allen's still the backup behind Burrow. I'm pretty sure he's still there. What if I was in a Mr. Beast video, but I had to invite an OFL coach? Who would it be? I'd probably want to pick someone who likes Mr. Beast. Have I ever met a fan? No. I've never had someone come up to me and say, "Are you from YouTube or anything?" I've never had that. Which is probably good, because I don't know what I would say. Yes, I am. But no, I've never had anything like that. Flag of a play. It is caught. Yeah, South Jersey's not that far away. I was in South Jersey like 3 days ago. I think the meme of the year should be everyone choosing the Niners. I don't think that. I think the meme of the year relating to your game is going to be the play itself. Rather, the Hail Mary, rather than the votes not going the right way. Or if I go up to you and say that Octi, OFL coach, I guess if you ask all of them, I would say, yeah, that's me in the flesh. Dan under pressure. He's sacked on the play by Andrew Van Ginkel. I've been here longer than all these people. That's true. I would have to bribe you guys. I would take your entire rosters, and whoever says yes, I would pick. Dan under more pressure, sacked again for a loss of even more yards. It has been a rough day for everyone on the Ravens not named Ezekiel Elliott. I've been here longer than Apple's been alive. But I walked into your house right now, stole your snacks, and I'm not a snack person. Can we send... It's still a 2-score game in the first half, so no. If I send you my mom's credit... Why would I want your mom's credit card? I don't need your mom's credit card. No. I don't want that. Give you... I don't have a good PC, put it that way. I'm getting a good PC in the mail in like 3 weeks, but the current computer I use isn't good. I don't edit my... Other than anything I record with the Xbox, I don't use my computer for YouTube. Hopefully I get to use my new computer that's coming in the mail because it'll actually be good. You can send it to me through Hector. Doesn't Octa use an iPad? I am an iPad person. I use my phone pretty much equally as much though. But like most of my YouTube stuff goes through the iPad because it's bigger. It's easier to do stuff than with a phone or a computer that barely works. Denmark, you're like 50. Get your own credit card. 3rd and inches. Good job by Diggs having 2 guys like right at him, still connecting with Hawkinson. I thought this game was going to be really close. I'm shocked that this is a blowout. And I'm especially shocked that it's the Pioneers who are blowing them out. Next thing you see is Octi using Discord on his PS5. I don't think that's a thing. That'd be funny if it was. 2250, same thing. Close enough. The Pioneers still have, I was about to say 2 timeouts, but they just used one. They still have 1. And 57 seconds. And the Pioneers start the ball in the second half, I think. Keep in mind. So they are really sitting pretty. The Bears were 13. Oh yeah, the Bears were good back then. With Jay Cutler and Matt Forte and Brandon... No, Brandon Marshall wasn't on the Bears then. He was somewhere else. Losing is learning. That's a good way. That's a good motto. Learn from Dan, kids. Respect your elders. Tats went 7 and 9. Yeah, I don't got an excuse for that one. Best record in OFL history. No one's ever gone undefeated. I don't think anyone's ever lost less than 2. We've got to have somebody who's gone 14 and 2 before. I feel like we've had to. Cardinals went 2-14. Did they have Carson Palmer at that point? Or was he still on the Bengals? I feel like he would have still been in Cincinnati. No, then Carson Palmer went to the Raiders. So that was way before Carson Palmer played for the Cardinals. The Falcons went 15-1 run year. I think you're right. Second and goal, tipped it incomplete. You got to run another play even with only 5 seconds. Don't kick. They should not kick. Why are they kicking? That's stupid. Well, this is the first year we've had 17 games. And we've never had anyone go 16-1. Pioneers still lead by 2 scores. Since the Pioneers start the ball in the second half, I think we'll start off by 7, even though it is a 2-score game. It's been super one-sided. If the Ravens get back into it, we will go back to watching. If not, then we'll just sit out. That's when the Jets were on their little run with the Sanchez. OFL 22 technically started in like September, but I had to redo the fantasy draft, and that took a while. So we didn't really start until like December or January. Pioneers now lead by 21. Yeah, it is not a good day for Baltimore. 31-3. Holy smokes. 34-3. Ravens had a touchdown right at the end for pride, but it doesn't matter. The Packers went 8-8. Hell yeah! Looking at the numbers, Jerome Diggs was very good. Dan, on the other hand, might have had his worst game. Since we have some extra time, I'm okay with simulcasting the Browns and Broncos game, because that's a very important game. I don't think the Lions went 1-15. This is when the Lions were good. That, like, 2011-ish team was probably the best Lions team of my lifetime. Which is sad, because we were a wild card team who lost by 30 in the first round of the playoffs. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. That is Denver. Want 100,000 subs? Give me your credit card info. Hold on. Now the message isn't showing. Your credit card intro, the 3 wacky digits on the back of the card, and the expiration date. What's your opinion on being locked in basements and only eating ants? I don't know. I feel like you would know that because you've been in my basement this whole time. What's your game plan of all the re-signings? Need some advice because you have a crazy amount. I would say try to bring back as many core guys as you can, but if they're asking for too much money, you just got to cut your losses. Because you got to realize this free agency class is going to be loaded. Why don't we get both teams their throwbacks? Was that these ones? Yep. And we'll give Denver their, like, Color Rush throwbacks. That's not the current Color Rush, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. We can't re-sign players yet, but I uploaded a video yesterday showing everyone who is up for a contract extension. Did we see records? We haven't seen records because we didn't sim the week yet. We want next quarter. Currently enjoying a gourmet meal at Venice Beach. Good for you. Tied at 7-1. Pretty close start. Highest rating is... I thought it said highest injury rating. That would have made sense because that's right when he had the neck injury. Third quarter, Denver starts the ball. They had a field goal. 14-10. Denver is at the 2-yard line, though. And Zach Carbonet scores, so it's not looking good for Cleveland. They just punted it. Oh, they added a touchdown. Okay. 3rd and 4, incomplete. When I move Tua to the Cardinals starter, I can check Ronnie Harrison's... intercepted for 69 yards. I can check, Ronnie Harrison at corner on the depth chart. Who is Chiefs legend Kyle Duggar? He's on the Aviators. 3rd and 7, incomplete. They score the field goal. Cleveland's got to score quick. They're not doing it quickly, but they are about to score. They score a touchdown at the buzzer. It's not going to matter, though. The Denver Broncos pretty much eliminate the Cleveland Browns from playoff contention, 24-27. So it would be a long shot for Denver not to get in, although Andy Morrison wasn't even that good. Who is Jamie and Sherwood? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Because he's probably a backup. Can you start Jacoby Brissett? I can. Russ sold to his new team. And his old team, because Russ used to play for Broncos here. I'll slide you a 5. I'm doing it for 3. Sherwood is on the Seahawks. Okay, there you go. Who do I want on the Black Knights? Can I make sure A-Rod changes crystals? Ronnie Harrison's an 81. What do I think of Baker Mayfield on the Panthers? I hope he proves everybody wrong because everybody thinks he sucks when he's not that bad. I think you're the only one who wants OFL 2030. The thing with the rookies, though, although it'll be fun to use those guys, but they are in OFL 22 also. So it's not like we won't get to use those players. Yeah, he's probably already a starter. So I assume you want Julius to start at 3 at strong safety. All right, sim time. The Browns lost. The Bucks lose to the football team, 33-30. I should not be laughing at that because you probably lost to the Niners. What happens if you win, though? The Cardinals lose to the Niners. There you go, 17-13. Tua and Zach Wilson were both pretty mid. So the Niners are 8-8 going into the final week of the year. A lot of sacks for the Niners. The Chiefs, they beat the Saints. So despite the Pioneers winning, the Chiefs are still in first place of the division. If the Chiefs win or the Pioneers lose in Week 18, the Chiefs will win the AFC West. But regardless, both teams will make the playoffs. What happened to Marlon Mack? Is he hurt? That's a big deal. Laviska Shenault, the big game for Kansas City. Did you clinch for number 1? If you win today, I think so. The Panthers beat the Diablos, so Carolina probably is like 95% in the playoffs at this point. The Diablos, I think, were already out. So Carolina should be good, whether it's a wild card spot or the division. The current ratings of the rookies will not be totally realistic. Well, Madden's always weird with the rookies sometimes. Matt Shaughnessy had... Who is Matt Shaughnessy? I've never heard of... Is that a real person? I don't know who that is. That's a real person. I don't know who this dude is. I've never seen the same in my life. Played for the Raiders for a few years and the Cardinals for a few years. He's from Canada. No, he's from Connecticut. I've literally never seen that name in my entire life. The Dolphins lose again to the Wizards, so the Broncos are pretty much in at this point. If you go 8-9, do you still have a chance? If we win today, no, not really. So you need the Vikings to lose. The Falcons. Oh! Okay, they beat London. Jordan Love did not play well. London has already clinched a playoff spot, but this does not bode well for their division chances. 4 sacks for Bradley Chubb. Shaughnessy is an 80 with 24 years old. That's not too bad. Washington won. We already saw that. The Niners won. Oh! Oh, wow. So the Giants lose to Seattle. So the Giants' win streak is up. So that means they are still only 1 game ahead of the Black Knights in the division. And this also means that Seattle officially clinches the NFC West. So the back-to-back OFL Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks are back in the playoffs. Dear God. This could be a playoff rematch. Especially if London ends up winning the division, Seattle will probably be 5, and the Giants will probably be 4. The Huskies beat the Rams 28-23, so they bench Hector, and they win again. So, at this point, with the Giants losing, the Huskies, I think, have officially clinched the #1 seed in the NFC. They will have a first-round bye and are automatically in the division round and will host home field throughout the entire playoffs. The Jags lose to the Bears, so Jacksonville's slim playoff chances are now dead. The AFC is going to be very anticlimactic next week. The NFC races are a lot more interesting. So if the Tigers lose, then I think we will already know our 7 teams in the playoffs. The Jets lose to the Beats. So Brooklyn is in. They have clinched, although Joe Burrow wasn't even that good. Brooklyn went 3-0 today. This game makes me want to visit... How do I say that? Chernobyl. That's how I say that. With nothing to protect myself. The Lions. Thank the Lord. So we beat Detroit 42-35. Malik Willis balled out. So at 9-7, we should be good. We should get a spot. Now I think the only way the Cardinals can get in is if New Orleans loses. The Panthers, they won. The Tigers beat New England. Okay. This makes Week 18 more interesting because the Tigers still have a shot at a playoff spot and New England has not officially clinched the 1 seed. At the end of the day, Jacoby Brissett... What? What you talking about, boy? He can't hold Malik Willis' jockstrap. The Pioneers won. The Rams... Oh, we already saw that. I'm stupid. The Ravens lost. The Saints... Oh, did we see this already? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Okay. So the Saints did lose. The Shamrocks lose to the Aviators 24-21. Looks like Lamar got hurt. And the backup, Tyson Edwards, was adequate. You still want... I don't think... the Huskies have already clinched a bye. So the Black Knights aren't getting a bye week. Because there's only 1 bye per conference. And the Huskies already got it. I think that's everybody. Yep. No, we didn't see this, but Bison beat the Bats. The Bison go 2-1 today. The Aviators have 0 shot, yeah. So the Bison's decision to bench Jeff Sims for Jalen Hurts kind of backfired. Despite 2 picks from Matt Jackson. We'll go through the schedule at the end. Should you bench the starters? Well, you haven't clinched the 1 seed yet, so if you really care about the 1 seed, no. If you're more focused on staying healthy than getting the bye, then maybe you should bench some guys. How many? So the Huskies have clinched the 1 seed. if any new teams clinched, the Beats have clinched, and the Seahawks have not only clinched a spot, but they've also clinched their division. So 9 teams have punched their ticket. 5 in the AFC, 4 in the NFC. So for the AFC North, the Ravens are going to be the only team here who gets in. They're going to be probably the 1... Actually, no, wait. It's a 4-way tie for the 1 seed. So they could be the 1. They could go as low as 3 because the Chiefs and the Pioneers are in the same division. So they'll be somewhere between 1 and 3. The AFC South, the Wizards can clinch with a win. They're not officially in, but even if they lose, they'll probably make it. If they win the division, they would make it in as a 4. If they don't win the division, then the Tigers could sneak in and get the 4 seed instead. New England and Brooklyn are both in. New England is close to clinching the division, but it's not a sure thing. The Dolphins, meanwhile, have fallen off the face of the earth and are eliminated. Then in the West, the Chiefs and Pioneers are still fighting for the division, and Denver, who has won 5 in a row, is very close to clinching. All they have to do is win next week, and they'll get the 7th seed. NFC North, Huskies are the 1 seed. Vikings are in a good position to clinch next week. The Panthers are now a game ahead of the NFC South, with Atlanta and New Orleans a game back. The Giants and Black Knights are still within 1 game of each other in the East. And then Seattle has officially won the West. So as it stands now, it's currently these top 7 in the playoffs. The only team not currently in who has a shot is the Tigers, who could make it as a wild card or win the division. So 2 of these 3 teams will get in. Then in the NFC, it's not quite as black and white. The Panthers are currently winning their division. The Vikings have one of the wild card spots. The Black Knights have a wild card spot. And then one of these 8 and 8 teams, San Francisco, Atlanta, or New Orleans, and everybody else down here is pretty much eliminated. So that is the playoff picture. Currently they have San Francisco as the 7th seed over New Orleans and Atlanta. All right, we'll look at Players of the Week. We will also look at the schedule, and then that'll pretty much wrap it up. Players of the Week: Malik Willis, Josh Allen, Deion Jones, and Bradley Chubb. As for Week 18, which games do we want to focus on? This game might determine the winner of the NFC South, so that's a good one. This game is pretty important. This game is very important. Yeah, there aren't many games where both teams have a shot. I mean, both of these teams have already clinched. So I would say the 3 I'd be very interested in is this one, maybe this one, and this one. So that's going to wrap it up. Week 18 is going to be sometime this weekend. I don't really know when, but it'll be this weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed, and we'll be back.